Hello boys and girls, it's Fog and welcome back to Redstone 101. Today I want to discuss clocks. So clock is a circuit that generates a regularly repeating pattern. Anything that requires regular motion generally involves a clock. So let's start with the most basic and simple of all clocks, okay? The simplest clock you could possibly build in Minecraft goes like this. Put a block there, put a little bit of redstone, put a block, put a redstone torch, and a little bit of redstone, put another block, put a redstone torch, put a little bit of redstone, and a block, a little bit of put a redstone torch, a little bit more redstone, and a block. You get the idea? And then finally, a little bit of this. So basically what we have here is just 5 torches all hooked up together in a loop. And what you get is a very simple clock. And then to get some sort of output from this, all you have to do is just run a line somewhere off of it. Like that. And there you go. So what we have here is a simple 1 second clock. You get 5 ticks on, 5 ticks off. It's very simple. There's no way to turn it off. It just runs. Now you can make some simple modifications to this. For instance, we could come over here, grab a switch, put a switch right here, and hold it on like that, or put it here and hold it off. What we're doing is we're forcing this block to stay high, which keeps this torch from oscillating. So that's the simplest kind of clock you can build in Minecraft. There's really nothing to it. Let's do one quick experiment. What happens if we remove these blocks and just hook these straight up? Won't that oscillate as well? Yes, it oscillates. The problem with this is that it's oscillating very quickly. And eventually what's probably going to happen if we wait long enough is we're going to burn out one of those redstone torches. So while this does work, I really don't recommend that you try to make a torch clock that oscillates quite that quickly. Eventually, you're liable to burn out a torch. Which leads us to another discussion, which is that you have to be kind of careful how quickly you oscillate a redstone torch. Shoot, let's put that here instead. Redstone torches, for whatever reason, gosh, I'm all thumbs today. Redstone torches, for whatever reason, will burn out if they oscillate too many times in too short a period. If that happens, you'll need to restart your game in order to correct the problem. Let me give you a quick example of a circuit that demonstrates what I'm talking about. If we place a block and a bit of redstone and a torch and put a block on top of this torch, watch what happens. It oscillates very rapidly and quickly burns out. If we put a switch here, we can at least temporarily reset it, but it's going to quickly burn out. And in fact, if we keep doing that too often, we may need to restart the game. Well, this design is fine and all, but it's a little bit bulky and awkward, and it's not terribly elegant. If you want to change things around, you have to add more torches, and it's a little sloppy. So we can do a little better. So how about we try this? Put a block there, put a block there. Put a repeater here set to 4 ticks, and a little bit of redstone right there. Then we're going to build up and over and remove these 2 blocks. Put a dot of redstone there. Put a lever over here and a torch over here. Now what you have is a very simple 1-second clock. You can throw the lever here to turn it off. Throw the lever again to turn it back on. Very simple, very elegant. Here it is with a line of repeaters so that we can see exactly what's happening. There you go. You have 5 ticks on, 5 ticks off. Simple, elegant. If you exclude the lever, it's 3 by 3 by 1. 1-second clock. What if you want a longer period clock? Well, one solution is just to extend this and this and add a little more redstone at the top here so that you can reach this torch block, and add a few more repeaters down here. That's one possibility. Or you could do something like this. Here's another option. Place a block there, put a lever there, and add a sticky piston here, and a block. Now, let's add a little bit of redstone there. Add a repeater over here. And we'll add a block here. And a redstone torch there. And maybe a couple more repeaters just for fun. Tie this all together with a little bit of redstone. And throw the lever and see what we get. There you go, a much more slowly oscillating clock. And the piston is your on-off switch. Then you can just pull your signal off of there, or another option would be to move a repeater here, put that there, and it's still going to oscillate, and you can pull your signal off of here if you want. Whoops. The only advantage to doing that is that your clock will turn on instantly instead of waiting a second. If you want a longer period, all you have to do is add repeaters right there. Here's another look at it with a line of repeaters to show what's going on with the cycling. You can configure the delay by tweaking these repeaters. There, it oscillates faster. Faster still. You get the idea. All right, there's one more design that I wanted to share with you today. Perhaps you remember this design from last time. whoops, wrong thing. I'm looking for a lever. There we go. And now I want you and you, and you, and you. So remember this. This is our simple pulse injector, right? Well, we can use this as the basis for a clock. So let's see, how do we do that? Well, there's lots of ways we could do that, but here is one of the simpler ones that I can think of. Actually, let me do this the other way. I want to go like this. Now watch what happens. Very rapid clock. And when we turn the switch off, the clock stops. So when we throw this switch, what we're doing is we're turning on this redstone for a fraction of a second just before this piston comes and breaks the circuit. So that injects a little one-tick pulse into this ring of repeaters. And it's just going to keep going around and around and around and around. This is the fastest clock that I'm aware of that uses just repeaters. You can tell if we try and remove one of these repeaters, it's going to oscillate so quickly that it's really just on. And in fact, we have a feedback loop that prevents the circuit from being turned off. So there you go. And again, you can configure this by extending the length of the delays or adding more repeaters. Here we go again with a line of repeaters to show exactly what's going on with the clock. The advantage to this design is that it's very easy to configure the length of the pulse and the length of the period are independently from one another. In this case, we get exactly a one-tick pulse, and we can use the length, we can use the number of repeaters to dictate how far apart they are. You see we have one pulse on, two off, one on, two off. If we break this, add a couple more repeaters to the loop, like this. We can keep our single tick pulse, but space them out farther. Well, gang, that's it for this episode. Tune in next time when we'll talk about logic gates. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.